in particular the Muanina people, the traditional owners and custodians of the land that we're on today. Pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Mr President, this morning I am sharing a story of collaboration, compromise and community. It's a story that proves that when people really listen to each other and engage with each other and work together in good faith, the whole community benefits. I was privileged to attend the recent launch of the Kingborough Dog Owners Handbook. This beautifully presented publication has a wealth of information on enjoying your dog. Sections include things to consider when choosing a dog, ideas for socialising and exercising your dog, a guide to reading your dog's body language, and tips on how to be a responsible dog owner within the community. It covers things like being mindful that some people are scared of dogs and how to manage that, and even tips on how to rehome your dog if this option becomes necessary. It was obvious at the launch that everyone associated with this handbook was very proud to have been part of it, and rightly so, but these collaborators have not always been like-minded or on the same team, and this is what makes this handbook so special. Dr Peter McIntosh is here with us today, President of the Kingborough Dog Walking Association, and the Kingborough Mayor, Dean Winter, both gave brief accounts of the handbook's history at that launch event, and I'll share some of that with you shortly. But first, I just thought I'd share with you a little research I've been doing about the benefits of dog ownership. Some of them are pretty obvious. Daily walks are good for you and your dog. Children who grow up with dogs are less likely to have allergies, and many studies have shown that owning a dog decreases blood pressure and stress levels in their owners, and people with dogs report feeling safer and generally more positive about life. But did you know that a dog might also improve your social life, with more people likely to stop and talk to you when you're walking your dog? Or even that there are a number of reports of dogs detecting early cancers in their owners, or of dogs having the ability to alert their owner to an imminent epileptic seizure. So owning a dog could literally save your life. Dogs have the ability to transcend cultural, physical, socio-economic and racial differences. And as this story shows, community differences too. The Kingborough Dog Walking Association was the first dog walking association in Tasmania. It began with less than 10 members in 1998 in response to the Parks and Wildlife Service taking over the management of what's now the Peter Murrell Reserve in Huntingfield. The Parks and Wildlife Service intended to ban dogs from the new reserve. This did not sit well with several local dog-loving residents who formed an incorporated body to represent the community. The group successfully reached a dog-on-lead compromise with the Parks and Wildlife Service, which still applies today. The Kingborough Dog Walking Association has now grown to well over 100 members. And the objectives of the association are to lobby for the retention and enhancement of suitable dog walking areas in the municipality of Kingborough for the use of members, to encourage members to have their dogs under effective control at all times, to encourage the formation of other dog walking associations in the state, to enhance the image of well-controlled dogs as a benefit to society, and to liaise with appropriate bodies associated with the Peter Murrell Reserve and other areas within the municipality to encourage members to assist with the enhancement of these areas. And now we come to our story. In 2017-18, the Kingborough Council commenced its 5-yearly review of its dog management plan in accordance with the requirements of the Dog Control Act 2000, and a consultation draft policy was released in 2018. Feedback on the first draft of the policy was overwhelmingly negative, particularly from dog owners, who make up about 40% of the Kingborough households. Many of the submissions received found the language used to be bureaucratic and legalistic, and some suggested the policy should contain information in relation to the benefits of dog ownership and provide details on how to be a responsible owner. The growing tensions around the review of the dog management plan culminated in June 2018 when over 600 people attended a public rally to protest the draft policy. And Mr President, the Council listened. They listened and they acted. Following the rally, the Kingborough Council initiated a second consultation process, which received over 500 comments and suggestions and 105 written submissions. However, the council staff were constrained by both the prescriptive requirements of the Dog Control Act and the standard template required for all council policies. It was clear there needed to be a way around this so the council could meet its legislative obligations while still addressing the needs of the community. One recommendation that of the extended consultation process was that the Council collaborate with the Kingborough Dog Walking Association to develop a document to support the policy that could be written in less formal language and focus more on public education and less on enforcement. The original idea came from Councillor Richard Atkinson, who has subsequently resigned from Council earlier this year. The Kingborough Dog Walking Association were enthusiastic in their support of the concept. The notion of the Dog Owner's Handbook was born with enthusiastic support, and it was subsequently formally endorsed by the Council. It was agreed to progress the development of the document once the final draft of the policy was approved. The first joint Kingborough Dog Walking Association and Kingborough Council workshop to produce this handbook resulted in a whiteboard covered with ideas and the allocation of writing tasks to the handbook subcommittee. And that was comprised of Georgia Clark, also here in the chamber today, Beanie Phillips, Tony Walsh, Katrina Ward and Peter McIntosh. Peter took on the unenviable task, perhaps, of editing the multi-author document into a single voice, and every edit was reviewed by Dr Katrina Ward, an animal behaviourist, who ensured the information was evidence-based and free from pet theories of good-meaning group of dog lovers. Everyone associated with this project has mentioned the significant contribution of the Kingborough Council, particularly Amanda Morton. She turned 40 references, 1 diagram and 12 pages of dense dog management text into a heartwarming, colourful and engaging publication that we have before us today. Others who made significant contributions include other members of the Kingborough Dog Walking Association Committee: Maureen Robinson, Maggie Hunter, Carol Baines, Prue Cooper, Ailsa Richards and Belinda Fenny Walsh. And from Kingborough Council, Daniel Smee, Danielle Azevedo, Kelly Nichols, Scott Basham, Sarah Wilcox and Stephanie Vellini. Quite a team effort. The handbook was launched on Saturday the 9th of November by the Kingborough Mayor, Dean Winter, and has been well received by the community. In fact, Councillor Winter wrote to me just yesterday to give his own glowing testament. He said, and I quote, "I used the book myself when I got home from the launch, read chapter 1, which is about selecting your dog, with his 4-year-old son, and we picked a cavoodle. So a cavoodle named Buzz arrived on Wednesday last week and he has fitted in very well, so the book works." The handbook is available on the Council's website and in hard copy from the Civic Centre at 15 Channel Highway, Kingston. But this is a living document which will evolve in the years to come and meet the needs of dog owners and the dogless alike. I congratulate the Kingborough Dog Walking Association and Kingborough Council on a successful community responsive and community building collaboration.